Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing Friday. The weekend is upon us, and we've got a fun little project that we're going to start today. So, over the past couple days, you have been writing and revising just a small piece of fiction, a piece of writing that you've made up, a story, a beginning, middle, and end with characters and emotion and all those things. And it's supposed to be very small, and it's probably been a lot harder than you thought it was going to be, and it's probably not as great as you would hope it to be. Well, today we're going to turn your hard work into artwork. And yeah, I know that was bad, but it is what it is. We're going to be starting a fun project that is going to be called Anything But Typical. And we are just going to take your writing, or maybe just a piece of your writing. Or if you hate what you wrote, maybe write something new. I don't care. This is supposed to be fun, and we are supposed to just learn from the writing process. And part of the writing process sometimes is knowing when to start over. But we are going to be turning our writing into artwork. And this comes from an idea that I got from a friend of mine who she is a physicist, and something that they do is that when they are writing rough drafts of stuff, or when they're trying to come up with something, they just start writing on objects. And I was like, there's something really profound in that, and the fact that their math, their science gets to exist anywhere. Well, writing usually only exists within some pages. And that's not fair to writing, right? Writing is supposed to be viewed and seen by anybody. I know personally that, I write on coffee cups all the time, like a quick poem, and then I'll leave it somewhere. I mean, usually like on top of a trash can so it'll get thrown away, but I don't like just go around littering. But that piece of writing, it might not see anybody, that a person might not see it, but maybe only the janitor sees it. Maybe, nobody sees it and they put it in the trash. I don't care, but it has the opportunity. And so what your job is going to be over between today, Monday, and Tuesday, as well as the weekend if you'd like, is you're going to take your writing or a part of that writing or something, and you're going to put it on anything that is not an 8.5 by 11 standard piece of paper, right? Now, I don't want you to get real cheeky and just like, oh, well, I'm just going to use like a legal pad or anything. No, like, here's an example. Here's a calculator. I wrote my story on a calculator. Um, and this is where it is. And your object doesn't necessarily need to be um, profoundly influencing the story. It could be, maybe my story is about math and adding up time. And it kind of is. It's about an accountant, and he dies, and it is what it is, and it's the story is really about the kid, his son, coming to terms with that, or his daughter. Actually, there is no gender assigned to the speaker, but there is, there there's so many possibilities. If I wrote a story on this empty box of Kleenexes, what does that say about the story? This is so interesting because the story is now disposable in a way that it's not with a calculator or with a book. Or, wow, my camera angles just got all sorts of whack with that. But what does that do to this story? Maybe it's a paper plate. Maybe it's a piece of wood. Maybe it's a hammer. For those of you who were in the live class, you've heard all this. But what does that do to the story? Maybe it has a huge influence, and maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just a scrap piece of wood that you picked up at work, and you just wrote it on that because you liked the aesthetics of having the story written on a piece of wood. And that's okay. It can just be there to look good or have fun. I'm giving that permission to it. All right, this is just for us to make a fun little project out of a piece of writing that we have created, that hopefully we have revised. And if you hate it all, you rewrote it, because that's just part of writing, is sometimes you hate what you have and you got to start over. All right? And so you'll get a grade out of 30 points sometime next week, hopefully. I'm not going to be doing grading on Christmas or Christmas Eve, but you're doing that sort of writing, and you'll get 10 points for your initial draft, 10 points for your revised draft, and 10 points for this project. You'll get those points as long as you turn them in, I promise, okay? They will go in as writing grades because we're writing, and that's how we're going to grade it, because part of the process is discovery and rewrite, all right? So that's your job. If you have questions, email me, contact me. Literally, you're just writing your story. Maybe you won't even get the full story on there, but as much of your story as possible on a found object. And let me know what that process is like. What does it do to the object what does it do to what does it do to the story? I'll see you all Monday, and I hope you have a good one.